Hey everybody, welcome to Play Jet Zone. I'm your host, Paul Eston Jr., aka Boy Greene, and boy, man, that was demoralizing. That was tough. That was tough. After everything that the Jets had been through in that game, to go back and forth, and oh god, they were right. They were right there to potentially find a way to win that football game. It was the most competitive football game, certainly. That the Jets had all year. Brutal, just brutal. And they find a way to lose this game. We're going to break it all down here live on Play Like a Jet Zone, right here live on my YouTube show. So thank you to everybody for joining us and continuing to join us right here on the show. Oh, man, this one's demoralizing. There's no other way to put it. Man, that first half, so exciting. We talked about in the pregame show about having Sam Darnold, having Mekhi Becton, having Denzel Mims, having all these guys there. And right as the game starts, we find out that Dow Logans had taken play calling from Adam Gase. We're like, wait a second here. The Jets offense looks competent. They look like they're finding ways to do things. And we're like, oh, wait, of course, Adam Gase doesn't have the play calls. Whoa, this offense is moving and grooving against the Bills again. For those who didn't listen to the pregame show, the Bills defense has been awful all year long. But nonetheless, it was encouraging. We're like, okay, Sam Darnold's finding Denzel Mims. Boom, bam, moving down the field. And I'm like, finally, a competent offense. This is terrific. This is fantastic. And apparently, after that 10-0 lead, you're thinking, oh, wait, baby, something's there. And then the second half happens. Horrible. I couldn't believe this fun fact. It changed probably with a couple of the passes at the end of the game. But when the Bills hit that sixth field goal, by the way, they didn't score a touchdown, and the Jets lost. Impressive. But on that sixth field goal, CBS flashed a graphic on the screen. I'm like, oh, that can't possibly be right. The graphic that flashed on the screen said the Jets had -3 passing yards in the second half. I went, wait, what? Wait, hold the phone. -3 in the entire second half? How is that possible? I had nothing, no other reaction but LOL. That can't be real in a passing league where scoring is all the rage. The Jets had -3 passing yards in the second half. Good Lord! They find new ways to kill you. It's like razor blades and lemon juice, a gradual killing. Like -3. Again, I think the negative, and I'll get to some of your questions again. If you guys have questions or comments, drop them in the YouTube live chat. But I saw it flash on the screen. Again, when the Bills made their sixth field goal of the game and the Jets had, I don't know, a minute and 45 seconds left on the clock, it flashed on the screen that the Jets had -3 passing yards in the second half. There's a couple of dinks and dunks before the interception from Darnold at the end. -3? Good Lord! Come on! -3? Anywho, let's get to some of these comments here, and I'll get to the rest of my notes. All right, Rick, the tank is back on. Yes, the Jets remain the only winless team in football. They continue to have that fun fact. Man, in a game where I'm like, they toyed with my emotions. I said this. I don't know how many former athletes we have watching a live chat right now. And again, if you're new to the stream, make sure you subscribe. I appreciate it. As a former athlete, I've always felt this way, and I feel this way as a fan. If I'm going to lose, I want you to kick my teeth down my throat. I want you to tell me to bite the curb and kick the back of my head as hard as you can, right here. That's what I want. I want to bite on the curb and Godfather Mafia style kick me right here. Lose. I want them to lose by 40 because when a team or as an athlete I lose by 40, there's not one play I can look at. That changed the game. I'm like, man, we lost here. We got beat here. We got smacked here. This is the worst way to lose. This, where they toy with you, right? Oh my God, are the Jets good? Is the offense moving? The Bills sucking? What's going on here? The defense played exceptional. They held the Bills offense to 6 field goals. You can't ask for anything more. Now again, it was great Jets defense, some penalties that helped out, the home court advantage, so to speak. So some penalties helped out. The defense was good. Stuck hard in the red zone, a little bend but don't break. They weren't too bad throughout the game. And I'm like, oh, whoa, baby. But again, that's the worst way to lose, where they tease you and you kind of think, oh, here they come. Now they blew it. So that's the worst way to lose, both as a former athlete and as a fan. I got to say that is the worst way to lose. Let's go. Wow, the comments are lighting up here. So make sure you jump in on the YouTube live chat. All right. It looked hairy for a few moments when the Jets threatened to lead the game, but no, Gase finds a way. 100% Gase finds a way. I'm like, the only rational explanation is Adam Gase stole play calling back in the second half saying, Dell, you're making me look bad. It's almost like Kurt Chicarly dog. Stupid dog, you make me look bad. That was it. And Adam Gase, that's the only rationale. And I got to tell you about the offense, and I don't know how and many of you guys were watching the game. Like Adam Gase says, I don't motion. That's stupid. I don't do that. Dow Logan's almost out of spite. Motion basically on every play. I was like, whoa, this is great. It's working. And then the Jets went away from that in the second half. And here's the worst part. And this is why Adam Gase sucks and why he should eventually be fired. There's a thing called, and I don't know if you've heard this, it's a bit of a new term, second half adjustments. Like the Jets and Dow Logan's play calling, Bill's like, whoa, we haven't seen this before. Whoa! And then at halftime, they're like, okay, here's what they did well. Let's blitz. And the Jets come out in the second half and said, hey, what worked in the first half was great. Let's do that again. And then guess what? It didn't work. And then they're like, boy, maybe we should just keep running those same plays. They worked once. Maybe they'll work again. No, they didn't. How about a screen pass? A quick out. Like Sam Darnold's holding the ball there forever. He's looking at stocks and going, oh, this is nice. Oh, boom! Get smacked. Kablammy! Kapow! I felt like an old school comic book from the 80s. Kaplow! Bam! Pow! Kabang! And all that. Sam Darnold was holding the ball there forever. And this offensive line that looked pretty solid in the first half. Second half, it was a saloon door. People were coming out through. The only thing the offensive linemen were doing were being like that bellhop. Yes, sir. Your room is right here past me and then the quarterback. Right there. Or those guys at the airport. Right here. Yep. Keep backing up. Woo! It was that. Jesus Christ. I mean, good Lord have mercy. All right, JS, encouraging for the Jets there, discouraging for the Bills. Jim CBW, right. It's got to be discouraging for the Bills, quite frankly. I'm going to be honest. Because this was supposed to be, and you heard it on my radio show if you listen locally, you heard it on my podcast, this was supposed to be a gimme game for the Bills. The fact that they were winning was a formality. Like Nate Geary from WGR 550 joined me on the radio on Thursday, and he said, obviously they're winning. But again, how they win is the important part. The Bills were losing the entire game until a couple of field goals in there. So 100%, I think it's on the discouragement for the Bills. Was it encouraging that Denzel Mims is a real person? I was not sure he was a real person until I saw him actually catch a pass. I went, oh, my God. It was like the Easter Bunny. I'm like, oh, my God, he's right there. Yeah, he's real. Wow, cool. Denzel Mims, nice. I can see it. It's tangible. I can hold it. Cool. So, no, a little bit encouraging, I guess, for the Denzel Mims factor, but 100% discouraging for the Bills. I don't know how you could feel good about that. I'm not a Bills fan, obviously, but if I was a Bills fan, I can't walk away from that Jets win going, yeah, baby, 2-game losing streak over. Nice. Yeah, let's get that dub, baby. Let's keep moving on. I wouldn't feel great about that, but hey, different strokes, different folks, I guess. Rick Huddy, that should be listed as an achievement with a trophy in Madden. Correct. We got the little ding at the top of the screen. Cowboys starting their tanking a couple wins too late. True. Andy Dalton, nasty hit. What a horrible hit by Bostic. He should miss a bunch of games. Again, this is a Jets post-game show, but saw that too. Gross. Yes, they waited too long. They will not be in that race, I don't think. The NFC East sucks so bad, they're going to continue to be in the mix. Cowbag started their wins too late. Yep, Gase's special coach, he seems to gravitate towards Phil, like he's attracted to it. It feels like a magnetic connection that, like anytime the Jets are winning, he's like, whoa, wait, pulls out the magnet, come back losing, come back, and then it goes. So, yes, the Bills was a gimme. The Clemson-Syracuse game was supposed to be a gimme as well for anyone who I do sports talk radio in the Syracuse area 100%. I'll wait for the Clemson-Syracuse talk for Monday on the radio show. Man, Jesus Christ. -3 passing yards? I don't want to hone in on any one point here. But here's the thing. There were moments in that game that I'm watching this. And all you Sam Darnold believers out there, and again, new people to the stream, make sure you hit subscribe. We do live pre- and post-game shows every week. But on this Sam Darnold nugget for a minute, right? Moments during that game where I'm like, Sam Darnold, now's your time to sack up, grab your testicles, say, screw Trevor Lawrence. I'm Sam Darnold, baby, and I'm coming in, and I'm winning this game right here, right now. I don't care who's around me. I don't care what's going on. I'm Sam Darnold. I'm winning this goddamn game right now. And no, he didn't make enough plays to make things happen. Again, I'm not trying to blame Sam Darnold solely, but if Sam Darnold is going to stop the Trevor Lawrence talk that is flowing through the YouTube live chat and everywhere you look right now, he needs to win games. He needs to make things happen. And again, wins, quarterback stat, we can have that argument a different day. But Sam Darnold has to show something. Because if not, and the Jets are winless, like they are right now, in April, they're taking Trevor Lawrence. They're taking Trevor Lawrence. Hey, one more time. They're taking Trevor Lawrence. So just keep that in your brains. Oh, we do have a Bills fan, Daniel Hahn, co-host of Two Bills in a Pod, right here on the show. Hi, Paul. Can't wait to chat Thursday. Game was opposite week one, but Jets couldn't get the 20 post Bills did in week one. A nice little recovery by Bills defense. Again, I want to make this perfectly clear. Perfectly clear. The Bills defense, all the credit in the world for adjusting and blitzing, and they did a great job. With that being said, the Jets, I mean, they didn't adjust. They didn't do anything. Like, they were fine in the first half, fine. Again, I thought they had some missed opportunities. That 3-0 lead, they had Denzel Mims immediately. Sam Darnold hikes the ball, and Denzel Mims is right there for the touchdown. I'm like, Mims! Denzel! And Sam Darnold, like, saw him late and threw it, and then they had to settle for a field goal. I'm like, Darnold, what are you doing, man? Mims was right there. And so I'll have to look at the all-22 film to see that one. But I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. And there's just a lot of mistakes in the game. The Darnold interception, when the Jets are driving, momentum is happening at the end of the first half. The Jets and Sam Darnold seem in a good position. They have a 10-3 lead. Could be 17-3. Could be 13-3. Huge point swing. Sam Darnold throws a horrible interception, and then the Bills end up kicking a field goal 10-6. Again, that could be a 6-point swing, 10-point swing. Who knows what could have happened in that scenario right there. So, obviously, horrible. Like, Darnold, you got to do something, man. And I'm wearing the Darnold jersey. I'm like, oh, yeah, baby, Darnold's back. This is great. And unfortunately, we got a whole lot of nothing, man, in that second half. You can't have negative 3 yards passing. That's not just on the coaches, the game plan, which also, again, the adjustment sucked. No screen, no nothing. But, Darnold, you got to make a play, baby. You got to make a play. Let's go. We got a bunch more comments here from Jim. Kick a second rounder for Williams? Absolutely not. And I said it on Twitter. I just spoke what Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport said this morning. That Ian Rappaport said that the Jets are looking for multiple second rounders for Quentin Williams. Look at him today. He had another sack. He's terrific. He's great. He's a building block. And all the extra years of his rookie deal that still remain, he is a building block that you should have for now and the future. No. Unless it's a monumental package, and even then, you need somebody to build around. I'm not taking a second rounder. That is nowhere near enough. Darnold worth maybe a fifth rounder? No. I mean, here's my thing. And Sam Monson of PFF, who joined me on Friday on my afternoon show, made a very good point. Josh Rosen got a second and a 5, a 2 and a 5, right? Darnold has shown more than Rosen. He also showed some more bad plays, but he's shown more good plays. I would imagine he's worth at least that. No. I wouldn't trade Darnold in season. I think his value is greatest in the offseason. The only way is if the Cowboys, who just had another Dalton injury, how serious that is, if they give some sort of wild offer for Darnold. But I really don't anticipate that. Just go in complete sell mode. In general, I talked about it in the pregame show. Bradley McDougald, Avery Williamson, Marcus May. There's a couple of guys that could all be had for the right price. Those are guys I would look for. The Jets are willing to sell, and according to the Adam Schefter report earlier, NFL teams are looking to buy earlier because of COVID protocols. Again, the NFL trade deadline is coming up on November 3rd, which is not this Tuesday. It's the following Tuesday, I believe, and they want to get those players in sooner. So potentially you could see fire sale. But again, 0-7, 0-6, you weren't making the playoffs. 0-7, you certainly aren't making the playoffs. So 100%. And again, one more shout out again, everybody, and then until the end of the show, everybody who's new to the live stream, make sure you subscribe. Appreciate all the support for all these Jets pre and post game shows. Let's get a couple of nuggets here, some positives. Let's talk some positives here. A couple of players that I'm like, hey, Bryce Huff, the undrafted free agent from Memphis. Wow, he was showing some pop. Did a nice job on the reverse, slamming down, getting some pass rush reps. Love Bryce Huff. Quinnen, I just talked about, has looked terrific. He had the sack in this game, was very good against the run. Zach Moss, plus Austin early in the game, should have had the pick in the zone. Also had a nice stop. I believe that was on Stephon Diggs. Terrific. Denzel Mims makes his debut, and he did not disappoint. He was terrific. Darnold should have looked for him a little bit more. Great stuff from Denzel Mims. Bryce Huff, arrow up. Quinnen, arrow up. Bless Austin for the most part was pretty good. So arrow up there. The defense in general deserves a huge kudos to what they did. This Bills offense has been explosive this year, and the Jets held them to without a touchdown. Stephon Diggs was leading the AFC in receiving and receptions. He was terrific. Josh Allen has been an MVP candidate so far this season. Now, probably a lot of people don't feel that way after this game and after the 2-game losing streak to the Titans and the Chiefs, but Josh Allen has been absolutely phenomenal. So I want to make that perfectly clear, that huge kudos to the Jets defense. And again, I think Jets defense and Bills penalties led to a lot of forced field goals. They converted 6. I think he missed 2. So, again, 6 for 8 field goal attempts. The Jets defense played well enough to win this football game, to put it bluntly. I know a lot of you on team tanking, and you want the Jets to lose all these games. I don't. When I'm watching the game, I don't know how many of you guys feel this. I say this every week on the postgame show. When I'm watching, I'm like, come on, baby, come on, Jets, let's go. Get that dub. After, you could rationalize saying, hey, you know what, going winless is probably for the better, but I don't root for that while I'm watching the games. Again, no second-half adjustments did the Jets in. A lot of motion, love to see that offensively from Dow. We'll hear more in the postgame from Adam Gase. But overall, Dow Logan's got play calling. Again, we missed that right at the beginning of the game. It went a bit under the radar. Apparently, Adam Gase told the CBS media crew that he was holding it close to the vest, but Dow Logans is now calling plays. Brian Costello of the New York Post was first on that report. Again, there was more motions. There was more offensive creativity. Really like that from Dow in the first half. He did not make second-half adjustments. This is the first time he was calling plays since the Bears in 2017, so it's been a few years for Dow. Hopefully he gets better from that standpoint. A couple other moments from the game. I'll also continue to answer questions. Hashtag Tank for Trevor, Giants, Falcons, etc. Jets are leading that pack, so there you go. The 4th-and-1 failure, again, I like the decision to go for it. Don't like the shotgun running back draw to Pirine. Didn't really like that. That's another guy. I didn't mention him in the trending up. Well, Michael Pirine showed some pop. Great. Phenomenal. Some building blocks for the future for the New York Jets. Pirine looked absolutely terrific. Frank Gore certainly had some moments as well. First career touchdown for Michael Pirine. Shout out to him. And again, the bad Sam Darnold interception. I also want to bring this. I had it in my notes. Pierre Desir. What a roller coaster season. It's like at some moments you're probably going to look at the stats at the end of the year and go, wow, what a great year from Desir. But he sucked. He keeps dropping interceptions. He makes crazy interceptions. He gets toasted all the time. Like, this guy could have 10 interceptions at the end of this year, and it would be a horrible season. So, wow, what a crazy thing. Also, one other fun fact here, the Jets were one of only 2 teams that hadn't held a halftime lead this season. They snapped that. They were leading 10-6. Also, the other team was the Washington football team, who blew the doors off the Dallas Cowboys. So there you go. That's all my notes and quotes. And overall, disappointing. It was cool to be in a game for once. The only other example this season was probably Jets-Broncos on that Thursday night game where you felt into it. You're like, yeah, you love competing. In the fourth quarter, it was 12-10. We're like, hey, we got a ball game here. This is the first time this season the Jets have had a ball game. And the fact that that excites us is depressing, quite frankly. First off, we've done, 7 of these shows so far, almost half of the season of shows. Don't have a win yet. Don't have, we're getting excited about just being in the game in the fourth quarter. That just shows you where we're at. But the positives, folks, are building blocks like LaMichael Pirine and Bryce Huff and Quinnen Williams and players of that realm, right? Being in the mix, that's great. Dowell calling plays looked great in the first half. We'll see if he can do better in the game next week. But if I remember correctly, the Jets play the Chiefs next week. Yike-a-Rudies. But hey, in the gimme game against the Bills, the Jets kept it competitive, so we can expect the same against the Chiefs. Right? Probably not. But he'll be here to preview it, and I'm going to have Mello, and here it is, Mello of the Stick to Football podcast, will be joining me next week to preview it on my radio show, The Jet Zone, every Wednesday for New York Jets. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap it up for my post-game show. Again, if you're new to the stream, make sure you hit subscribe. I can't say that enough. Appreciate the support. We blew up this week with a lot more subscribers, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. Again, live pre- and post-game shows every week here on the show. No, I'm not either, Jim, not being a pessimist. I'm not holding out much hope either, but I will gather myself this week and rein in that hope, and we'll see what happens. Mahomes, Darnold, maybe. I don't know. Let's see what happens. But again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.